Hey guys, I kind of messed up with the Minecraft recording where I recorded it, started editing it, and then something happened in the rendering process. Video didn't come out proper and I couldn't upload it. And so that's why it's missing this week. Hopefully I'll be able to fix it by next week and upload that same video, but it's going to be a problem. And so I have an empty space. Woo! And I'm going to try to make it up with you guys with this experimental project, which I am calling Food for Thought. It's me kind of just thinking and talking about the pros and cons of something that's going on in the gaming world. This week's episode is actually on digital versus retail, which let's get on into it. Hey, look, I actually scripted something out for once. Not only that, but I've actually put some serious thought into the subject, and I'm personally on the fence about it. And that subject is digital games or retail games. Both have their benefits and their negatives, so today we're going to explain all of them and explore both options. Now, we also might want to look into why a company would want you to switch to digital. So, let's get started. This could be really fun. Could be. So we're going to start with the conventional retail. With retail, you have a physical copy of the game that can both be traded in and returned if the game is bad. You get the added benefit of not having to re-download the game if you run out of space on your hard drive, and you will be able to find the game online or in second-hand stores if you do not get it at launch. Also, it looks cool stacked together. All joking aside, there really is a collection aspect to physical copies of the game. Now, the cons of physical copies of the game are a little bit more modern. One of the ones is how it's annoying how every game has a day one update. I remember buying Assassin's Creed 3 and 4. When I plugged in 3, it was like, updating. Please wait. I mean, if I would have gotten it digitally, it would have been already updated. And another thing about physical copies of the game is they can be damaged, lost, or stolen, which is kind of a pain in the ass because I really like to collect my games and I don't like when they're stolen. Now, digital has some obvious advantages to it. For one, you don't even have to leave the house to pick up the game. You can just click, buy, yay, or click being the button press. You don't need to change the disc every time you want to change the game, and believe it or not, this is actually a really nice feature. They don't actually take up real space in your household, so you can pretty much just have your console sitting there with all of the digital games compared to that stack of games I was telling you about earlier. And every digital copy of the game usually comes with its current update, and you don't have to update it, which is a good thing. And usually your console will automatically update the digital versions as they come along. But along with those obvious advantages, you also have some pretty big disadvantages. You have no trade-in value on your games because they technically do not exist. They are data. And you'll need some sort of a hard drive or SD card solution that is quite large to hold all of your digital games. So there's that. And then the biggest problem is that the prices are fixed on digital games. Companies tend to not drop the value of a game when they're only digital. So, now you know some of the good and some of the bad of each side, but would you believe me when I told you that companies want you to go digital? I mean, it's kind of obvious on how they're pushing it. Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo all want you to buy their games digitally. There's definitely been a push to switch to digital, and there are a few reasons why, both in the company and consumer side. Believe it or not, every physical copy of a game costs them money to make, ship, and sell. And that cost varies per company, day to day, but the cost of the companies, it's a cost the companies are looking to cut out. Sorry, I get a little jumbled sometimes when I get ahead of myself. Just think about it like this. The more they sell in data, the less it costs them to make it physical. So, it's kind of a thing that they're trying to work into there. Digital games also are supposed to be the bane of GameStop. For some strange, bizarre reason, the game industry has a love-hate relationship with GameStop. Sometimes they're trying to please them, and sometimes they're literally trying to kill them. This new push for digital is to stunt the growth of secondhand games, and in some cases it's kind of a really bad thing. But also it does have a good side. For you, the consumer. Yes, you. You may have noticed that on the 3DS and Wii U, you might get games that don't have physical copies. Now, some of these are indies, but some of them are actually games that come out in Japan that they don't think are going to sell here very well. You may have noticed that One Piece game that popped up a couple of weeks ago. This game was not slated to release on this platform in America due to the notion that the audience was not big enough. So, Nintendo convinced Bandai Namco to give a digital release here in the US, which means the game still gets sold here in the US, and us, the consumer, are allowed to pick it up. And just kind of think of this, if this system were in place during the Wii era, Xenoblade wouldn't have had Project Operation Rainfall because they would have been able to do that. They would just, when they did the European version, just say that it was in America and put it on the eShop and bam, you could buy it. Now, I have some personal experiences that I would like to talk about for both sides of this. And both of them are going to be on the 3DS. So, the 3DS actually benefits from not having the physical games. Digital games are a lot more convenient on a portable system. Why? Because I don't have to lug around game cards. I can just have my one large SD card in the system and plug in one game card to make sure that I don't destroy the inside of that reader. But it really is convenient to have my games stored on the SD card. I just don't have to swap them. It's easy. It's nice. But I did get burned on a bad experience with digital. I picked up One Piece Romance Dawn on the 3DS, and the game was crap. It started out amazing. Like, I was kind of hyped. It was challenging. It was fun. And then the second you cross the red line, which if you're a One Piece fan like I am, it's like this huge strip of land that Mobius strip, not even a Mobius strip, just this huge strip of land that goes around the world. The game just takes a nosedive in the wrong direction. It becomes bad. It just does. It sucks. It really does. And I got burned on it, and I wanted to trade it in, but I couldn't because it was all digital. So I was like, oh, that completely ruins it. And so there you have it. There's some good and some bad to the story. In the end, it really all comes down to the consumer. If they want to have their physical games, if they don't want those physical games, if they want to have this completely portable, or if they're willing to just sacrifice their pockets with giant game cases. And it's funny, but this push for digital seems a little forced on a couple of fronts. I personally think that it's a good thing, but yet again, I also think that some of it is being rushed out too quickly. And so, what do you think? This is just kind of food for thought. You can leave it down in the comment section what you think about digital games versus retail games, or you can subscribe to this channel and see different videos. Click the pie to see more videos. And I mean, I want to hear what you guys think. Do you want to play games digitally, or do you want to play them retail? It's up to you. And do you think that the current practices will allow games to continue to be retail and not be inconvenienced? It's all up to you guys. As always, thanks for watching.